This is Matador News, and these are today's headlines. Rescue workers are on the scene after a commuter train crashes at a station in New Jersey. Mourners gather in Jerusalem to give their final goodbyes to Israeli Prime Minister Shimon Perez. And it's National Coffee Day. Caffeine lovers can score a free cup.
Hello, and welcome to Matador News. I'm Dahlia Perez.
And I'm Diego Girgado. More than 100 people are hurt when a train crashed in the Hoboken station in New Jersey earlier this morning. New Jersey Governor Chris Christie says one is confirmed dead. A male witness says people were trying to get out alive.
It was a chaotic scenario. People were running, moving away, trying to get away, trying to be safe because they didn't know exactly what happened. Granted the fact that the train was going at a rapid pace. That's the reason why it hit the platform when airborne.
CNN reports passengers on the train were thrown onto the floor upon impact. New Jersey Transit employees helped passengers evacuate the scene. The Federal Railroad Administration says the agency has opened an investigation on the crash.
An elementary school student in South Carolina is still in critical condition after yesterday's shooting. A student and a teacher were treated at their local health center and released. The 14-year-old suspect reportedly drove onto school property and jumped over the school fence to get into the playground. Police say after the school shooting, the teen killed his father inside their home. County Coroner Greg Shore says shortly after the teen shot up the school playground, he called his grandparents.
They went to his home, which they lived just 100 yards away, to see what was going on because they couldn't understand why he was crying on the phone and they couldn't make sense of it. When they go into the house, they find their son has been shot and their grandson's not there.
Deputies detained the underage teen, but his identity could not be released.
A witness to the shooting of El Cajon is stepping forward to offer cell phone footage recorded during the incident. Protesters have been gathering in San Diego for the last 2 nights. The shooting victim was 38-year-old Alfred Arlongo, who was shot by police officers after pulling a vaping device from his pocket. El Cajon police responded to a 911 call on Tuesday from Arlongo's sister. She says he was mentally ill and putting himself and others at risk. Arlongo's family is expected to release a statement, but is currently asking for privacy. It is still unknown if San Diego Police Department will be releasing any footage.
President Obama has decided to send 500 additional troops to Iraq to assist Iraqi forces against ISIS. U.S. Defense says after weeks of discussion, President Obama and Iraq Prime Minister Haider al-Abadi have now agreed on the details. U.S. officials expect this to be the final deployment of U.S. military troops in Iraq. They are to be placed closer to combat and not the front lines. President Obama was asked by the Iraqi government to increase the number of trainers and advisors to international coalition in Iraq.
The Los Angeles Times reports Donald Trump wanted managers to fire female employees who weren't pretty enough at his golf club in Palos Verdes. The Times reports when Trump visited the course, he told his managers to replace the less attractive women with pretty ones. These allegations recently surfaced in a lawsuit against Trump's company from back in 2015. Trump's attorney released a statement calling the allegations meritless. The company also says discrimination goes against company policy.
President Obama is expected to attend the funeral service for Shimon Perez in Jerusalem this Friday. Mourners have been gathering to pay respect to the Israeli Prime Minister, who died at the age of 93 on Tuesday. 2 weeks ago, he suffered from a stroke and was reported to be making progress. Doctors reported that things had changed for the worse. He was the winner of the Nobel Peace Prize in 1994 and forging a peace deal between Israelis and Palestinians.
Now let's go to Matador News reporter Daniel Martindale with news on the latest crime update in the CSUN area.
All right, guys, in just the last week, we've had a man on campus with a sledgehammer, a shooting just a block away from the dorms, and an attempted kidnapping. With all this going on, student safety and campus security are being questioned. Are students really that safe? Now here's what they had to say.
Do you feel safe on campus?
Yes, I always feel safe, so, but that's just me, you know, everybody's different.
I actually do feel safe on campus. I mean, like, I've been like walking around and like nothing's happened to me, so I feel pretty safe.
I mean, it's kind of nerve-wracking, like knowing the incidents that have been going around,
but as long as I'm aware of my surroundings, I feel safe.
Students took to Twitter hours after Tuesday's attempted kidnapping was reported. Several said they didn't feel safe anymore. When local media retweeted their thoughts, their tweets went viral.
I think they're overreacting because I feel safe, and I'm pretty sure a bunch of students feel safe too. It's only probably a small handful that don't feel safe.
I don't think that's reflective of the entire CSUN population. I think it's probably blown out of proportion. But at the same time, I do think that there are probably, maybe a few of the students that don't quite feel as safe as some of the others may have.
I mean, it was one student that tweeted it. You might not know how everyone else feels, but I think a majority probably of CSUN students don't feel safe just because it was a week and a lot of incidents have happened.
CSUN police say they are monitoring the situation. Now let's go back to Itzya Freyre with the latest in business.
Wells Fargo CEO John Stump faces another round of grilling on Capitol Hill. This morning, Stump sought to defend his bank and his role in front of the House Financial Services Committee.
I am deeply sorry that we failed to fulfill our responsibility to our customers, to our team members, and to the American public. I am fully accountable.
The California State Treasurer took further step and suspended any ties with the bank for at least a year. Congress has avoided government shutdown after the Senate approved a short-term spending bill. The spending bill has been contested since the Flint, Michigan water crisis in December. Congress came to an agreement that would offer help in solving the Flint problem. The bill was also provided $1.1 million to fight the Zika virus. Nevada Senator Harry Reid says he is very comfortable with the bill. Although some conservatives oppose the bill, it still passed with an overwhelming vote. Now let's go to Minerva Medrano with everything in science news.
The Rosetta space probe is scheduled to come to an end tomorrow with a suicide mission. The craft will be sent into a comet to be destroyed after 12 years of operation. European scientists decided to crash the spacecraft into the moving comet before Rosetta is too far to generate the power to capture images. Its final hours will consist of gathering the most important information to date by snapping photos as the probe approaches the comet's surface. The European Space Agency will start sharing the images of the spacecraft's last moments tomorrow. For the first time in history, we are now free of measles. The World Health Organization says Americans no longer have any traces of the disease. The battle has been won through the mass distribution of the vaccine for the past 2 decades. Measles primarily affect children. Malnourished children are more likely to develop serious problems if they contract the disease. A disease is considered eliminated when there are no reports of the disease for a whole year. Before the shots were given in 1980, measles accounted for 2.6 million deaths worldwide every year. Now back to Itzya with the news and entertainment.
The Fox series Empire is being hailed for addressing Black Lives Matter. The show follows the storyline of an African-American family in the music industry. The second episode of Season 3 addressed recent years of racially charged police brutality. At the end of Wednesday's episode, a character was roughed up by police officers. The scene resonated with many viewers who took to social media to praise it. Minerva with the latest in sports.
A private funeral mass is set to happen today for late Marlins pitcher Jose Fernandez's family and close friends. A public memorial service was held last night for Fernandez. The mourners proceeded from Marlins Park to a local Miami Catholic church. In attendance were hundreds of fans, as well as Marlins owner Jeffrey Loria, manager Don Mattingly, and several teammates, including Giancarlo Stanton. 24-year-old Fernandez died this Sunday after a boating accident with 2 other men. Fernandez had Sunday off and was set to start Monday's game against the New York Mets. The National League West champion Dodgers are preparing for their postseason appearance for a 4th year in a row. The Dodgers suffered a loss last night to the San Diego Padres. The Dodgers had a good start with a leadoff home run from Chase Utley and then a solo shot from Adrian Gonzalez. Padres rookie Hunter Renfroe helped carry his team with a grand slam and a 3-run homer. Despite hitting 3 home runs off rookie pitcher Luis Perdomo, the Dodgers lost 6-5. Left-handed pitcher Julio Urias is set to start for the Dodgers tonight in their last game of the regular season against the Padres. Now to report on the day coffee addicts wait for all year, here's Alex Raza in the newsroom.
Coffee lovers rejoice. Today is National Coffee Day, and CSUN is planning to kick back and enjoy a cup of joe.
by drinking coffee and reading the news on Facebook.
I'm not gonna drink coffee because I have a natural high off life. So I'm gonna drink some juice and some water, and yeah, coffee's nasty.
Well, I'm enjoying my pumpkin spice latte while doing some homework.
I had a cup of coffee today. I got a free cup of coffee, actually.
Oh, cool. Where'd you get it from?
I got it here at school at Freudian Sip.
Now, no one knows where Coffee Day comes from, but who needs an excuse to down a cup or three? Dunkin' Donuts is selling a medium for 66 cents. Krispy Kreme is offering a free donut and a 12-ounce coffee, and Starbucks is donating a coffee tree for every cup sold. Now, back to you guys in the studio.
Thank you for watching Matador News. I'm Diego Girgado.
I'm Dahlia Perez.
I'm Minerva Medrano.
And I'm Itzya Freyre.